Hey everyone, and welcome to the PTCB Prep Guide. We're all about simplifying those tricky pharmacy concepts so you can really get them. Today we are diving deep into the gastrointestinal system. We're going to start with the basics, the anatomy and how it all works, and then we'll connect all of that to the high-yield medications that you absolutely need to know for your exam. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll get that big picture overview. Then we'll follow the wild ride your food takes from start to finish. And we'll wrap it all up with some rapid-fire tips to make sure this stuff sticks in your brain for test day. Okay, let's jump right in. Probably the easiest way to think about the gastrointestinal system, or GI system for short, is to picture it like your body's own personal food factory assembly line. It's a really amazing piece of machinery. So, here's the crucial point. The GI system isn't just one single organ. Nope. It's actually one long, continuous path that kicks off at the mouth and ends, well, you know where it ends. And along that journey, it has some super important helpers called accessory organs that we're going to meet in just a sec. This right here. This lays out the exact route your food takes. And it's a one-way street. Seriously, think of it like a roller coaster. Once you're on, you're traveling in a single direction all the way to the exit. And these are those sidekicks we were just talking about. While they're not technically part of that main tube, they provide all the essential tools, things like saliva, enzymes, and bile that are absolutely critical to get the job done. All right, let's rewind and go back to the very start of that journey. Let's see how this incredible process kicks off from the moment you take your first bite. Okay, so as soon as food enters your mouth, this really important safety feature just springs into action. It's called the epiglottis, and it's a tiny little flap that covers your windpipe when you swallow. This prevents food from going down the wrong pipe and getting into your lungs. It's a simple little thing, but it's a total lifesaver that works without you even thinking about it. Now, this is a term you're going to want to highlight. Peristalsis. This is a super high-yield word for your exam. It's basically the engine that moves food through the entire system. These are smooth, wave-like muscle contractions that push food down the esophagus and keep it chugging along through the whole GI tract. So the stomach has these two critical doors, or sphincters. At the top, you've got the lower esophageal sphincter. Think of it like a bouncer. When it doesn't close up tight, stomach acid can splash back up, and that's what causes acid reflux, or GERD. We'll definitely talk about the drugs for that later. Then at the bottom, there's the pyloric sphincter. It's like a gatekeeper that only lets food pass into the small intestine after it's been properly mixed and turned into liquid. You can really think of the stomach as a muscular blender. Its inside lining has these cool folds called rugae, and they allow it to stretch out a lot. In fact, those rugae are the exact reason you get that food baby feeling after a big holiday meal. They're what lets your stomach expand to hold all that food. And now we've arrived at the main event of digestion, the small intestine. This is the absolute nutrient superstar. This is where your body pulls out all the good stuff, all the vitamins, minerals, and energy from the food you ate. Now, it's not just one big tube. It's actually split into three specialized parts. The duodenum is like the welcome station, where all the enzymes from the pancreas and bile from the liver show up to the party. The jejunum is the main workhorse. It's the nutrient sponge that does most of the absorption. And finally, the ileum acts as the last checkpoint, just to catch any leftover nutrients that might have been missed earlier. Okay, this table right here, this is a perfect little cheat sheet for your PTCB prep. It gives you an at-a-glance summary of what each accessory organ makes and what its main job is. You'll definitely want to remember these high-yield facts. Salivary glands kick off digestion with saliva. The pancreas is the enzyme factory, and the liver makes bile, which is like soap for digesting fats. So let's move on to the final leg of this journey. After all those nutrients have been pulled out, we got to see how the body handles all the leftover waste. The large intestine's main gig is to act as the body's final recycling center. Its most important job is absorbing most of the leftover water. And this is key for the pharmacy. If it absorbs too little water, you get diarrhea. If it absorbs way too much, you get constipation. And this is exactly where a lot of common OTC meds, like laxatives or antidiarrheals, do their work. All right, let's switch gears completely. It's time for a rapid-fire review of the most important super high-yield points that you absolutely, positively need to have locked down for your PTCB exam. You ready? Let's lock in these key concepts for good. First up, you have got to memorize this sequence. Questions about the order of the GI tract are super common. So it goes mouth, then the pharynx, which is really just a fancy word for your throat, then esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and finally, the large intestine. Drill this until you can say it in your sleep. Next, remember the 4 main jobs of the GI system. A really simple way to think about it is eat, break down, absorb, and poop. Or more formally, ingestion, digestion, absorption, and elimination. And remember this crazy number, 20 feet. That's about how long the small intestine is. This incredible length gives it a massive surface area, which is exactly why it's the undisputed champion of nutrient absorption. And last but not least, here are your must-know terms and drug classes. For anatomy, burn peristalsis and those 2 sphincters into your brain. And for pharmacology, you have to know these: proton pump inhibitors, or PPIs, like omeprazole for acid reflux, H2 blockers, like famotidine, which also cut down on acid, and be familiar with your common OTC laxatives and antidiarrheals. I can almost guarantee you'll see these on your exam. So, if you think about your GI system this way, as this efficient, hardworking friend, it can really help you remember how all this amazing machinery works. And, understanding it is key not just for crushing your exam, but also for appreciating your own body. You did a great job reviewing the GI system today. You are absolutely on the right track to passing your PTCB exam. Just make sure to review your notes and practice those drug names every single day. And hey, if this explainer helped you out, do me a favor and like, subscribe, and share it to support the channel. We post a new simplified pharmacy topic every single day to make your exam prep more effective and honestly, a little less stressful. So keep studying, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next explainer. You've got this.